Hola, everyone. Happy Thursday. We have had an interesting week. This week, you know how we have our webinar series at Mexico and Caribbean FamTrips. And this week has been entirely about the Caribbean. And reason why is, as you may know, we recently were in the beautiful islands of Aruba and Curacao, hosting our second FamTrip. So we made some great friends, great relationships. And that is why this week, after we did that fam trip, we wanted to bring two of the most amazing partners that we had. So on Tuesday, we had Curacao on our webinar series. And today, Thursday, we have probably one of the most amazing properties I have personally seen. You know, as I don't know if some of you are aware, my previous life, I used to be a director of sales, right? And you only get to know and understand the product that you are representing. But then when you start hosting fam trips, an entire new world opens to you, right? And you feel, you know these properties, these others, but sometimes you encounter some different resorts that you're blown away. And I am extremely honored to have them today here at a webinar with Caribbean FamTrips. And I say honored because when we went to see Bucuti and Tara in Aruba, everything it's about location, 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 location. And they are probably on the most beautiful beach I have ever seen in my life. And also something that drew my attention, it's I have two beautiful children now, and we always think what type of world we're gonna give to our children. And this property has won from the United Nations an award from Zero Carbon Footprint. And I think it's the only resort in the planet. So it's absolutely stunning. It's extremely high end. Well, I think I am stealing the thunder of our guest today, who is Susan Logan. She's actually the director of sales for the property in Aruba. So Susan, I think it's time for you to turn on your camera. It's time to unmute yourself and let us know everything about your beautiful resort. I think you can talk a little bit about Aruba. We would like to know about yourself as well. So thank you again so much for being here and being able to talk about your wonderful property. Thank you so much. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Wow, what an introduction. So thank you for that. I have started with Bucuti and Tara Beach Resort in 1988. So that has been since opening. So I'm very proud of that. The resort has evolved in an amazing way. And we right now enjoy a 97% average year-round occupancy. Which is almost unheard of in the industry. We have a lot more demand than we do supply, and there's a reason for that. We are very unique in what we're offering in Aruba. We're the only ones that are doing what we're doing, and I'll describe more to you about what that is. And can everybody see my screen all right? Okay, good, thank you. Patty, yes, I can see. Sorry. Okay, appreciate that. So Bucuti and Tara is unique because it's a relatively small resort in Aruba. It's 104 rooms. We're owner managed by a passionate owner. His name is Ewald Biemans. He's really one of those iconic hoteliers in the Caribbean that you hear about because of his many accomplishments. He has won every award conceivable both for quality and for sustainability, and has proven that both can exist and they're not mutually inclusive, so that you can have a luxury resort experience and also be completely certified carbon neutral. And we are the only certified carbon neutral in the Caribbean. There are a few others in the world, the Brando, for example, and there are others. In fact, Forbes just came out with a list last week, and we're one of the 10 awarded luxury sustainable hotels in the world that they have chosen to promote. So we're proud of these awards and accolades that we've really worked our entire career for. So here you're seeing our beach. So the difference between what you see here and these little specks are people. So that gives you a little bit of the scale of what a nice, wide, uncrowded beach that we have. So we all know that a lot of development happens in tourism destinations, and we have really resisted any overdevelopment and have kept our resort to 104 rooms when we really would have the opportunity to make it much bigger. So we've preserved a natural, quiet, and what they consider the new luxury in the world really is space and the ability to have a peaceful and tranquil environment. So as you will see, even in compared to the resort just next to us, our chairs are spaced out. There's 25 feet in between our chairs. Everyone has a chair. When they make a booking, they're guaranteed. In fact, we have more chairs and umbrellas than we have rooms. So we, I'm just making sure everybody is admitted here. Sorry. Doesn't want to. All right, so we have that as a unique feature in the hotel, and you can see it, very, very quickly here, just in this picture of our beach area. So I don't know how many of you have been to Aruba, but for those that have not, we have 20 miles. Let's see, and I'm sorry if there's anybody waiting. I'm trying to admit everyone. And I don't know why it doesn't want to admit everybody, but we'll keep trying. So our resort, our hotel island, our island of Aruba, is 20 miles by 5 miles. It's a population of 100,000 people, and 20% of the island is a natural park, which is really a gift to all of us. It's a very beautiful, with a lot of good infrastructure of trails, national park called Aracock Natural Park. So our location here is with the big red heart, and we're in this low-rise Eagle Beach area of the hotel. And there are 3 main areas for you to choose from for your customers. One is the Palm Beach area, which is up here, just 3 miles to the north of us. The other is in Oranjestad here, which is downtown. There are some Renaissance properties there that are right in the middle of the shopping area. And it's quite wonderful place for those who like a lot of activity. And then there is our little quiet area with a big beach, Eagle Beach, here right in the middle of everything. So really the difference is Palm Beach, you have a succession of chain hotels. So you have Ritz and Hilton and Holiday Inn, Riu, Marriott properties. So it's just one after the other, high-rise hotels on a long, narrow stretch of beach. It's great for families. You've got the water sports right in front of you, lots of activities. Singles are going to love it. There's lots of nightlife there, tons of evening activities and restaurants all up here in this area. So that is great for customers looking for that kind of atmosphere. Here at Eagle Beach, again, peace, quiet. We focus on couples. We're adults only, honeymooners, nature, and there's just a huge amount of difference in the atmosphere between the two. And we do very well with honeymooners because they're so close to the activity. So in just a few miles, they're down in downtown or they're up in Palm Beach, so they can enjoy a quiet, romantic place to be while still having access quickly to fun and activities. So I pulled out our area here on this side of the map. And the reason is all these little red dots there are restaurants that you can walk to from our resort. So you're not isolated. One thing I get asked a lot about is, in many markets, people feel strongly about having an all-inclusive hotel. I would highly not recommend that for Aruba, because Aruba has amazing 400 independent restaurants, and many of them are treasures and unique experiences that you would not want your customers to miss, and they would be very resentful in paying for an all-inclusive and then finding out at the bar the next day that somebody went to Flying Fishbone or a Barefoot restaurant and had this fabulous time, and that they were locked in and already paid for all their meals. So while we also offer a dine around for agents who really just have customers that just can't get around that need to prepay or have all inclusive. We offer it, but I never recommend it. Because again, you want people to be free to enjoy the island. It's safe to do so, and there's so many great culinary treasures. So as you can imagine, Bucuti, it's a proper name. There's no translation. It's the name of a little reef outside of our island. It's a nightmare to market. No one can spell it. Nobody can say it. Bucuti, what is a Bucuti? So what I do right away is just let you know that we can attach to these award-winning brands that are iconic in the industry. Travel and Leisure, we're the top 25 Caribbean hotels for travel and leisure every year. Same thing with Condé Nast Traveler, top 25 resort in the Caribbean there. And we won 5 TripAdvisor awards in 2022. We're anxiously awaiting to see what this year's will be. But for the first time, we always are on the top in the Caribbean, but we won one of the top 25 hotels in the world in 2022. And we were we continue to be very proud of that award, based on guests that have stayed with us and know us. So Eagle Beach, again, special place. Eagle Beach just won, and it's been in the news as well, TripAdvisor's award. It's #1 beach in the Caribbean, and that's our beach. And it's #2 in the world. And that's, again, a TripAdvisor award that just came out several weeks ago. The government really did a good job of advertising that around. You may have heard that. All right. And so Eagle Beach, again, is the place for peace and quiet. And I had webinars this morning, presentations, and I was asked by one of the agents if they thought we would make a good girlfriend's getaway or if we were only couples. And the truth about that is that while we have a good atmosphere for like a mother and daughter trip, we are mostly couples. People are celebrating anniversaries, honeymoons, reconnecting with one another. And it's really good for them to know that that's the group that they're going to be surrounded by. And they're wonderful people that are enjoying the time of their lives, very important milestones in their lives. And people meet at the bar and make friends. And but it's not a place they're going to meet other singles, other mother and daughter. It's just really good to know the answer to that question. So this is an example of the experience that somebody's going to get at our hotel. Now, this bartender, I know his father well. I've known him since he was a baby. He runs our sandbar, and he is serving a healthy meal out on the beach. And everyone has a red flag. They can raise it, and a waiter will come over and take an order. So that's really quite a wonderful little perk that we offer to everyone. As well as this romantic dinner on the beach. We favor our hotel guests for this dinner. We keep it open only for them because it's so popular up until 48 hours prior to.
I know sometimes there's a online order slip that has a receipt barcode on it.
Jessica Frey, please mute yourself.
So sorry about that. So we have this dinner that is a 3-course dinner. It includes wine or champagne. And it is, again, it sells out really early. If there's still room 48 hours before, we will book outside guests. But if you are booking guests in the hotel, think about this. It's $192 per couple, including tax and all 3 courses and the wine. And it's really special. And if I could tell you how many engagements I've personally witnessed out there under these cabanas. Some ask for special decorations or things to happen. We can put, rose petal hearts out in front of the "Will you marry me" kind of messaging out in front of the cabana. There's a lot of creative, fun things that we can do to make it even more special. And again, we are always looking to find a lot of activities that are going to appeal to our romantic getaway crowd. Twice a week, this is something we do for free. We have a movie theater out on the beach. It's an amazing event for people to just enjoy the wind over their skin, popcorn and drinks out there. And it's usually a fun rom-com or a romantic movie that they can enjoy. And I keep this slide in the presentation now, even though this was created for COVID. We do micro weddings. That means for 2 to 4 people on the beach, and we live stream it out to 1,000 people. So if you can imagine, that is something that was very popular over COVID. I never expected it to continue to be popular, but what happens is young couples now want to invest their money mostly in new homes and starting their lives and save a little money on big weddings. So they combine their wedding and honeymoon, and it's continued to be a popular event. It's commissionable, and I'll make sure that you get those package prices out in case you have anyone interested in elopement wedding. So our restaurant, we have Elements Restaurant on the beach. We include breakfast in all of our rates. So that's something to really watch for when you're comparing rates for the hotel. Our rates are inclusive of tax, service, and breakfast. Most resorts are giving you rates without all of those things, and the taxes are substantial. So just know that you're comparing apples and apples when you're comparing our rates to other resorts, to know that you're getting a good value. The breakfast is a big buffet plus cook to order hot items. We have a wonderful chef. He's from a Michelin star restaurant in Miami Beach. He's a Jamaican man who has a fabulous imagination and creativity for the menu. And our guests absolutely love him. I love him. We also have vegan and vegetarian full menus for the past 6 years, and they've evolved several times to have wonderful, imaginative, and tasteful vegan and vegetarian meals. And while I'm here, I'll mention too that we do gluten-free probably better than anyone, because our chef pays special attention to this. We have a lot of gluten-free items that we already have every day in stock, but if you have somebody that wants to specify that in advance, we can prepare for them and engage with them in advance to make sure they have everything that they need and that they're safe during their stay. Another picture of a healthy meal with mocktails and salads on the beach. We've had a second chef table restaurant. For those of you who may have heard of us or in the past, we usually have a chef's table with 14 seats. It has 8 courses, all 8 courses paired with a wine, 3.5-hour event with a chef and a sommelier, which is temporarily closed down. It will reopen in the fall. We're going to be renovating that space, and that's why it's not available now, but it will be, and I'll keep everyone updated on exactly what that is and what the changes will be at the end of the year. Wellness has become a lot more popular over the past 6 or 7 years for us, and we have upgraded our program in a significant way. We have new management, which is a couple, Natalie and Bjorn. Natalie's from Germany. Bjorn is Aruban, but grew up in Holland and Denmark, and they're both physiotherapists, and they bring a lot of credentialed types of courses and menu items to our curated wellness program that are really fabulous. And I must say, the program has grown a lot, and it has a lot of imaginative, different types of treatments, different types of courses. And we really engage our customers in advance to know what kind of yoga do they want. Are they advanced? Are they beginner? Do they want Pilates on the beach, Tai Chi, meditation, sound healing? It's a huge menu of services. And we very carefully match the instructor to the guest, which is very different than a lot of resorts. A lot of resorts may have somebody on staff that kind of does it all, that does all the courses themselves, but we do a specialist for each one. So there's a free course every day. So we give a sampling. So every morning there's either a yoga class, Tai Chi, or Pilates, or something that a guest can join in without any charge. But we feel we don't want a full inclusive wellness program that everyone pays for, that everyone may not want to participate in. So we give those free classes, and anything more anyone wants, they can pay a la carte for those items, and we'll match them up with the best teacher. There's more about really extensive information about this on our website. So as far as spa services, we have a petite spa, which means we have an outdoor couples or single spa cabana, which you see here. We also have 2 treatment rooms in the Tara Suites. We are not a spa hotel, and I'm always careful to mention that to everyone so nobody comes disappointed. The 2 treatment rooms are rather small. There is no lobby or public space or lockers or anything right now. So it's really a small, petite facility. They do a great job. The treatments are excellent quality, but you wouldn't want to sell somebody who's used to a spa experience to enjoy our spa in that way. Wellness, we do it better than anyone else. Spa is to come in about a year and a half from now. We'll have a 3-story spa, pool on top, ocean view, lockers, public areas and rooms where people can, sit and enjoy. And I think that's where the mother-daughter or girlfriend's getaway is really going to blossom. But that isn't the case right now. And just so we set expectations really well. And one reason why I think we do so well and win so many awards is because we're very careful not to oversell the resort and really only promote realistically what we do and what we have. On our website, on the very cover page, so it's bucuti.com, there's a link right away, and it's called What We Are Not. And that was pretty controversial at the time. People thought it kind of bordered maybe on rude because it tells you who you want to exclude because it really helps you match very carefully the customer with what we have. So in other words, it tells you if you have smokers, they're probably not going to enjoy our property. If you have parties or groups of more than 4 people, they won't enjoy themselves at our hotel, and why, and it goes into details. So if you're ever on the fence of who's going to enjoy our resort, hit that website, that page, and you are going to be very exacting in your advice as to who would be very happy with us, what we can do and what we can't do well. So our gym, the reason why I showed this, it's interesting because these machines that you see here actually deliver energy back to the grid. And I'll talk more about our sustainability program, but you don't plug these in and draw energy. You're actually delivering energy and able to store it and use it on the grid for powering your house, for example. And there's a little screen that shows up that tells you what your workout powered. So for example, this young lady may have lit up a block of homes for a week with her workout. And so that's kind of a fun thing and something unique about our fitness room. Here's one of our meditation huts. So there's a lot of quiet areas. We can do sound healing here too, which is kind of the new great thing. I should pause for a moment. Does anybody have any questions on the facility so far? All right. So we'll move on.
What we will do, Susan, is this. We will have a forum for questions and answers, so they can type the questions right now, and then at the end, we will go through all of them.
That's a great idea. Well, thank you so much, Daniel. I will continue then about our rooms and suites. We have 2 main buildings. Our first building was the Bucuti wing. It has 63 rooms, ocean view, but mostly garden view. So this is our lowest room category that you're seeing here. Everything has been renovated, either soft or hard renovations within the last 5 years, and we're due for a new one next year where it'll be partial, soft and some replacement of some bathroom vanities. We always let everyone know way in advance when that's going to happen so you can plan around it. But in this case, this room is really a beautiful room and it looks out to the garden. So this is our lowest price category, and we see guests choosing this when they're going to be out on the beach all day anyway, and it's not important for them to be on that bed and looking out to the beach. They're probably not celebrating anything special, and it's just a really fine, well-equipped room that is garden view. And then we have the same room that is facing the ocean. Every single room has a large balcony with chairs and a table on it, so you can enjoy coffee or a glass of wine or something at any time out on your big balcony there. And all the views, we call our views garden view. Some other hotels may call them partial ocean view. We don't want to overpromise. So if you're on the balcony and you look, you can see to the ocean. I don't consider that an ocean view, so we call it garden view like it is, but it's not that you don't have a good view from those rooms. The other building that we have is called the Tara Suite building. And I really had a wonderful time before we built this in 2014, taking a year to ask our guests, how would you build your perfect honeymoon suite? Because Aruba didn't have enough of them, and you had to go to a chain and pay for a honeymoon or presidential suite at thousands of dollars a night. And we saw really sort of a gap there that we thought we could fill by building a wonderful, affordable honeymoon suite that's oceanfront, that's very special. for our honeymooners. So this suite does split into 2 rooms. It's a king bed, Tempur-Pedic mattresses that look right out to the ocean. There's actually 3 TVs here, which is a little bit silly, but it's a novelty that people like. So there's one in the bedroom, the living room, then there's one inset into the bathroom. So while you're taking a shower, you can catch up on CNN or whatever you watch to find out what's going on in the world. You've got a full wet bar here with the refrigerator, all of the utensils and wine glasses and things, and a microwave oven, coffee maker, all of that. And it's like a spa-like bathroom, little spa-like bathroom. So it's really been full since the day we opened. So we found the right formula. It's really attracting those honeymooners, and you might think about that when you have a honeymoon guest. So our penthouse suite is actually our best seller. There's 4 of them on top of this Tara Wing suite. It's a double room. So you have a full separate bedroom. You have a double balcony with furniture. You have day beds on there, as well as lounge chairs and table. You have a full living room that attaches to a stainless kitchen and dining area and a spa bedroom or bathroom. And so I have a tiny little clip of a video here to watch because it's hard to photograph this room. So I just have a few seconds to kind of walk through it. It just helps you see the scope of this room because pictures don't do it justice with the tub for 2 and everything. All right, and to our sustainability, and I appreciate that Daniel liked this about our resort, and it's becoming more and more important to our younger travelers that hotels are being responsible for the destinations that they are residing in. It's really a privilege to have our resort where it is, and it's such a place of natural beauty. And if you were to talk to the owner of our hotel, he would say that he's in the nature business, not a hotelier. And what he means by that is if we don't have and protect the nature, no one would come. So if you don't have the beautiful beach that's clean and the water you can swim in, and there's not sargassum all over the place, and some of the problems that you can see in some destinations that we've made sure that we don't have, we find that very important to our company culture, and we protect it fiercely. So we started out with Green Globe certification 25 years ago, and we've stepped up through LEED certification, LEED Gold, Travel Life Gold, ISO 14001, and that enabled us to take the next step. And it took us 7 more years to become carbon neutral. It's a grueling process, takes a lot of investment in technology and making sure that you record absolutely everything in energy usage, including anytime I travel, it's all recorded, and we make sure that we have reduced enough that we are carbon neutral. So we're very proud of that. And any questions you have, I'm happy to answer them at the end, but also there is about 5 pages of information on our website under eco-friendly. It details every little thing that we do. And part of being a sustainable resort means we give back to the community. We have a spay and neuter program. We've facilitated 30,000 pets being neutered. We protect the donkey sanctuary. We have Pack for a Purpose at the hotel. So our guests are invited, if they want to put supplies in their suitcase and bring them for the children of Imelda Hoff, which is children in crisis, and they're cared for there. It feels like an endless list of things that we're doing for the community. And the last one is a nature preserve. So Ewald had bought land in the heart of the tourism area, which is called Nord. It's actually behind Palm Beach where the high-rise hotels are. And it was really becoming a place that was overbuilt, and he was capturing pieces of land there to where he got to 30 acres. And last year he turned it over to the government so that it could never be developed. It could be retained as a nature preserve area where all the flora and fauna could thrive and guests could walk through or sit or jog or take pictures or whatever. And it'll also serve as a carbon sink, which means it's going to draw, we're reforesting that area, so it will draw carbon out of the atmosphere, and we will end up carbon negative when we are all done with that in a year or 2. So Aruba, if you haven't been, is really full of wonderful things to do in the sea, off the sea. So you can go hiking in the park. you can scuba dive, snorkel, kayak, and we serve for exclusive types of activities. And this one is a huge Brazilian teak schooner called Monteforte, and we lease it one day just for our guests. Because what we were finding was a lot of our guests really don't enjoy everything else that's out there, which really is an overcrowded boat that you're kind of avoiding getting beer spilled on you kind of thing, loud music. So those who want a more refined experience, we rent this for our guests. They are offered champagne when they get on, lots of space for everybody, amazing staff, and they still will enjoy some nice music that, and they can dance around if they want to. The staff is a lot of fun and facilitates a really joyful environment. There's a barbecue on board. It starts in the afternoon. It's 5 hours. You go out, you snorkel, you sail, you can scuba, and enjoy this boat, rope swings, all of that, but in a really nice atmosphere. So that's one of the exclusive options that we do. We do a catamaran sunset sail as well with the same thing in mind. And our concierge puts that all together. Now, in our pre-arrival information, we can pre-register guests so that they have a curb to room experience, so they don't have to wait in line to check in at all. They will be pre-assigned a concierge. The concierge will take them directly to their room. And that concierge also will invite them to fill out a pre-arrival survey. We will get their preferences, and with those preferences, we can recommend things for them to do. So if they say, look, these are the kind of restaurants I want, this is how many times I want to do fine dining, how many times I want casual, where do I want to walk to the restaurant or take taxis, or, we find out, as much detail as they want to give us on their preferences, we'll make recommendations and any arrangements that they want us to make. There's no charge for that service at all. So there's a lot of wonderful, fun things to do. And on our website, I have a wealth of information, videos, playing, and the websites are filled with content for you. This presentation is available by link in Canva. I'm about to give that to you, but you'll also get all the assets that Danielle's going to provide for you as well. In this QR code, you can either snap this now or Daniel will provide it for you afterwards. But what it does is it gives you all the videos, all the pictures, packages, rates, everything, and in a whole clickable environment to make it easy for you. My contact's there, our owner contact and his business card is on there. And really, it's a very comprehensive tool for you to really be able to recommend things very well for your clients. And so my name is Susan Logan. It's been such a pleasure to introduce you to our resort. I hope I made it in time, Daniel, for this presentation, and I'm very happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Honestly, I wish you would have spoken more, because it has been so amazing to learn about your resort. I'm very, very honest when I was saying that your hotel, it's probably the one that has blown me away the most. And I have been doing this for 15 years now, Susan. So it's a beautiful property. And you know what? It's not about the grounds, it's what you represent. Just like the zero carbon being one of the most romantic hotels, and all of the different amenities that you provide. So again, I feel actually very humbled to have you here and you showcasing about your product. So thank you so much.
It's an honor. It's really an honor. And you brought so many people to us to hear this information, and really, I appreciate it very much.
I hope you can trade it for a free stay for me.
No,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We'll talk.
So we have a bunch of questions, and something that I was talking to Susan at the beginning of the webinar before everybody come in. They are an extremely popular hotel, and I actually went to your website, Susan, and I saw about who we are not, right? I just like you were mentioning. I actually think it's phenomenal because it actually gives you an idea of who you are by saying who you are not. And I know that you're an extremely popular hotel, and I was telling you, hopefully one day in the very, very future, we will host a fam trip, but definitely something that we will do and we will continue doing. It's every time that we are hosting a fam trip in Aruba, we will definitely take the agent to site inspect your property. You have my commitment on that.
Appreciate that. And we'll try next time to include a meal. We've always tried to work that in, and we haven't been able to in the past due to different things happening, but we'll work on that.
I will take your word for that. So let's go,
Yes.
taking advantage that I still have you here. Let's go through the questions that the agents had so you can help us with them. Let me see what we got here. We got some hellos here. Okay, so you're gonna be sharing your contact information. You're gonna be sending me an email with your contact information, also with fact sheets about the hotel, everything that you want to share. Because, for example, Ingrid Jackson is asking, who do we contact for the dinner on the beach? And I think that the great first step is knowing your contact information so you can redirect them to the right person, correct?
Yes, and the fastest way to get a confirmation, because I would be forwarding it to this entity who actually checks the computer and right away can make to block it for you, would be concierge@bucuti.com. And that is quick because it goes to the entire concierge team. It's assigned to one of them that's on duty at that minute, and you'll be able to quickly make that happen. There's no advance payment or anything as long as the guest is a guest of our hotel. Like I said, 48 hours or before, if you have guests that want to, you can check to see if something's open, and then they will send you a payment form and you can arrange it that way for an outside guest.
Perfect. Now, I really enjoyed this comment that is coming now because this is actually an agent that we brought to your hotel during our FAMs. This is Elaine Pesto, and she's just saying, I just booked this beauty, the Tara Suite. It's gorgeous.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. We worked hard on the design. And again, one thing about having an owner managing and active and meeting guests every day in the resort is that he's very in tune to feedback, and he feels that it might as well be his name on the front of the hotel. He takes a lot of pride in it. And so it's always fresh and renovated, and we're going through new renovations. The cycle's beginning again, and it feels just when we're finished, we're doing it again. We're very sensitive to making sure we don't disturb guests in the process and doing it in a way that is not going to be disturbing. And we inform everybody in advance, but it's always fresh and new.
Thank you. Now, I have also Steve Innocent saying, I believe she said 62 rooms in the Bucuti wing. Is that correct?
63, correct?
63. Okay. How many rooms in the Tara Suite wing?
So that's 43. And we have 3 bungalows. The bungalows, you saw those, Daniel, between the restaurant and the Tara wing. It's a round building. It was the first property that was actually built on that land, and we took it over and incorporated it as part of the hotel. We've made 3 suites out of it. 2 are ocean view, and one of them is garden view, just because of their positioning. They've got a big balcony or terrace, and they're close to the pool. And that's really something special for some people. They really like it. The description is on the website in the room section. You can see pictures.
Perfect. Thank you. Also, Betsy Walker, it's asking, is the schooner available to book before arrival, or is that necessary?
You can book before arrival. It's Wednesdays right now. And I would suggest booking before arrival because we do limit it to 14 couples. And but you can also book it. They can book it once they get there. But all the information can be sent. We have videos of the experience. You know, if you'd like all that information, we're happy to provide it in advance. And if you'd like to book it, that's possible through the concierge team.
Okay, and I think Amy's asking the same question. Are the sailings offered on certain days of the week?
Right at this time, it's Wednesday. It can change, but usually they give us lots of notice if there's going to be a date change.
Okay. Do you have to be on a honeymoon to book the honeymoon suite?
No. And that's a good question because I emphasize it so much that I forget that, you know, if people are celebrating a honeymoon 5 years after they were married, we're not fussy about that. And one thing I should mention too is that all you have to do is tell us that your customers are celebrating honeymoon or their 5th or 10th or 15th anniversary. We like to celebrate with them. So we recognize them. Daniel, you may have seen those little celebratory recognition on the doorways. It says happy honeymoon or welcome back or happy anniversary. So we recognize them in that way. And in the room, there will be an amenity and it will be macaroons, freshly made macaroons by a pastry chef, a full bottle of champagne, flutes that are engraved with our logo, glass flutes that they can take with them home, and chip crackers and cheese. So it's a very nice amenity. I think it would cost almost $200, and we provide that free if you just let us know about this celebration, you know, that it is a honeymoon, because we know that that's going to be a return guest for us and for you someday. And so that's a great thing. Yeah.
Is there a certain amount of nights that they have to book in order to get that amenity?
Well, while the answer to your question is no, there is a minimum night stay. So the minimum night stay for our resort in general is 5 nights, always. At Christmas time and February over Carnival time, there is a 7-night minimum. So, you know, sometimes that can be flexible if we're down to our last few rooms and there's no other option. Sometimes there will be a less amount of nights confirmed, but very, very rarely. So it's sort of a yes and a no.
Okay, so that's very interesting to know because I went online to an OTA. I'm not gonna say the name. And I was actually quoting for 3 and 4 nights, and it said that it was sold out, but now it makes sense. I think I have to do at least a 5-night in order to get a rate. So that's interesting for everyone. Now, something that you didn't mention and they haven't asked. What tour operators do you work with in the US?
Well, really all of them. The one operator that we've worked with for so many years, and unfortunately, we don't have an agreement in place right now, would be Flight Center. And the reason for that is they're an Australian company that's recently grown, that changed their contract in such a way that they said that they could set the price for our hotel. And we are very strict with parity. We don't allow anyone to sell underneath our published price. Everyone has to sell at the same rate, just like you would a Mercedes or a Rolex or something like this. We have quality product and it will not be undercut. And if you see it undercut by anyone, I would never book it because we may not honor that booking. They may not have an agreement with our hotel because we don't allow undercutting. And sometimes there are these strange named OTAs out there, and you can warn customers that if they do see a lesser price than you see on our website, don't book it, don't take the chance, because it may not be official. It may not be someone we work with, because we will immediately cut a contract for anyone who undercuts us. So flights.
Sorry, we all wish that everybody in the industry would work that way. So kudos to you. And I think everyone here is celebrating that. But as you know, not everybody does it. So good for you.
Yeah. So Flight Center, until we can get that agreement together with them, they can, hopefully we will. We've been friends with GoGo, Liberty, all of them for such a long time. It's kind of hard to see that happening, but yeah, it can happen. So I do see a question that just came up regarding a 7-night stay in August that you didn't see availability for. So there's 2 things happening today that are unique. We just changed, for security reasons, we changed from an on-site server system of Opera for our property management system to a cloud-based system. And we've had terrible problems with having correct inventory. So they keep opening and shutting, and it's not working with the connectivity of our channel managers, which means that the flow of instant confirmations to those people we have agreements with, they are connected to our system too. So we're having sort of a unique couple of days. If you give a day or 2, you're going to find more availability with the operators. That's why I suggest call us directly. our 800 number is based in the US. They're directly work for us. It's not a service. These are our employees, family, as a matter of fact, and they will find space in the meantime.
Perfect. So there was a question about the online system being down, but you just explained it right now.
Yeah, sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Things happen.
Yeah.
Queens or double beds?
Yes.
Single, is there a single charge for the double rate? And well, there's a question here. Are children ever allowed for weddings, for example? No, you already mentioned
Yes, adults only. We very, very true to that promise. And it's funny because we have a family resort next door. And if some children should wander onto our beach, we get 10 calls immediately. What's happening? There's a child. So in other words, we're true to our brand. Children are not allowed under 18. It is an adults only resort and the only true adults only resort. There are some that have a wing or a pool. At our resort, it's true to adults only. So if somebody wants that experience, that will happen. We do not do groups. So we won't take any rooms, reservations over 2 rooms. So that's, I think, why we win so many awards is because we're very true to the brand and we're very willing to turn down business in order to maintain our atmosphere.
quality over quantity.
Yes, it sells.
Now, Patty Harp, hi Patty. Patty Harp, it's asking, what is the 800 number for us to use in the United States? Can you type it down on the chat box?
Yeah, I sure will. I'll give that to you. And these ladies that work in our US reservations, they're family and they act like family. And in other words, you're going to have a really good experience. They will go to bat for you no matter what. So feel very comfortable and to engage them. Oh, here it is. Okay. Sorry, I was looking at my chat. Disappeared for a second, but here we are. All right. Do you see that? Did you see that come in, Daniel? It says that
No,
only the host and co.
Okay, if you want, okay. What is it? You can tell it to me. Okay, there it is. Perfect. We already see it.
Okay.
We already see it. And I will also be copying that information and I'm going to be sending it to everyone who is on this call. Also, so you know, Susan, I will be included as well. I will be including as well the agents that registered to the webinar and could not make it, no? That's why we are recording the presentation, which we will also upload on our Facebook page and we will send to everyone as well. So all of the agents can learn about Bucuti and Tara.
Fantastic.
I don't see any question. It has been a privilege to have you here with us, talking about your resort. I think you can tell my excitement, how in love I am with your brand or with your hotel. And we look forward to seeing it again when we go in one of our upcoming FamTrips, and as well as meeting you in person. So thank you so much. Also, I have to say that, you know, we have built this dream in which we help agents get to see and understand different brands. And having Elaine Pesto, she's here, and she knows she's my #1 fan. And she's someone who actually, like I said, made a booking to your hotel because she actually went to see it with us. So it actually proves that what we're doing works. So thank you, Elaine. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I don't know if there's any last statement, any last question.
Well, thank you all. It's been a privilege. I welcome you to contact me at any time or through Daniel, who's been fantastic to bring all of you wonderful agents to come and see us in person. And again, this has been really a gift. So thank you all and the best of luck. I think it's been a great year and I hope it continues to be a great year for everyone's business.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And everyone, see you all next week with our next guest through our webinar series. Susan, so long.
Okay.
See you soon. Take care.
Thank you so much. All the best.
Please make sure to send me all the information. Bye-bye.